Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Football. Match day 9 deadline stream. A bit later than I usually start. The time's obviously changed and all that. Let me know how your team is looking. Are you playing your wildcard? Are you playing your limitless chip? Some big games today. Arsenal against Bayern, Real Madrid against Man City. Tomorrow you have Atletico Madrid against Dortmund, and also the other game between which other team is playing tomorrow? Or have I forgotten? We will have PSG against Barcelona tomorrow as well. So get in your questions as usual. I still have 2 transfers to make, so my team is not yet traded, still 2 transfers to make. So my team was in a bit of a problem because of all the teams eliminated. So at the moment, I have 4 Arsenal players, and I have to go with 4 Arsenal players because I have players like Walker and Ake who are injured that I need to take out. But the team news is out. Let me say to you guys, hi to you guys in the chat first before I read out the team news. Nolly says, when do I use my wildcard? I usually prefer using it in the group stage, but if you don't use it in the group stage, the round of 16 second leg is usually the other time, but the next best time I would say right now, because if you save it until the semi-final, doesn't really make sense because you'll have like 5-6 transfers to make at that time. Everyone will have 5-6 transfers to make at that time. So the only other time you can take advantage of using a wildcard is right now, or maybe the second leg, but I'd say right now because we are heading to a new round. I'd probably say right now. But if your team is looking good, let me know, Nolly. If your team is looking good and you have like 11, 12 players that nearly everyone else will have, Bellingham, Haaland, and all those guys, you can save it until the second leg, but I wouldn't pass the quarterfinals. I think the semifinals and finals, there's not too many teams to choose from. Doesn't really make sense to use it at that time. So I'd say right now or the second leg if you prefer. Ray says, with a sudden heart, I'm announcing my retirement from UCL Fantasy. Why, Ray? Why? This is the best game in the world. I'll never stop watching your live stream. I appreciate it. You need to play fantasy. Why are you not playing though? Let me know. I'll be the chat as a pandit. So we recruited a new pandit in Ray. Ahmad says hello, how are you? Johnny says hi, how are you? Johnny says my 11. Let me know. See, Ahmad says who's the best midfielder under 6.9. Honestly, I'd say either Rodri or Rice. I don't think there's too many of that price. I'd say Rodri or Rice. How much is Xavi Simons? Xavi Simons is even competition anymore. He's not. Easy. No, he's not even, right? But I would go with Rodri, and I'd go with Rodri and Rice. Usually, Xavi Simons is on that list, but Leipzig is no longer in the competition. Let's see. Emre is also a good option, as Ray says. Emre is a good option as well. The first game is being played at home, so I think Emery is a good option. He says he's got him. Ortega or Raya, says Johnny. I'd say Raya for the first leg. Arsenal at home, Man City are away at Real Madrid, and Arsenal keep a lot of clean sheets and Man City usually don't. So I'd choose Raya. FIFA bots, how are you? Nice seeing you as always. Best captain for today and tomorrow, asks Nolly. Today, I'd still go for the home teams. I'd choose the home team. So Bellingham is definitely an option. Let me check the Real Madrid teams, but I'd say Bellingham as the first option. I would say Saka as the second option, and I'd still go for Haaland there because of the high ownership and all. If you don't have him, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble if he scores a couple of goals. So those are the top three for tomorrow. I'd potentially say Griezmann, Atletico Madrid, and I'd say Griezmann tomorrow, and Mbappe as well. So those two. So two for today, three for today, two for tomorrow. I have too much on my plate, says Ray. Understandable. How are you, Danish? Also, guess who's coming to Nairobi in August? You are? Let me know. DM me and let me know. Back as always, says FIFA bot. Thank you, man. As always, should I captain Vini, Kane, or Haaland from those three? Listen, I don't want Kane to score. I have Kane. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I don't want Kane to score. But Kane usually scores a bunch of goals against Arsenal, and the only reason I wouldn't go for Kane is because Arsenal have a really good defense. I'd still go for someone from a Real Madrid or something in that game. Man City don't have a really good defense, so there's that, and they have a lot of injuries. Walker is injured, Ake is injured. So Real Madrid's team is Lonin in goal, a back four. The whole squad: Lonin, Carvajal, Rudiger, Tchouameni, and Mendy. And then midfield: Valverde, Camavinga, Cruz, and then up front: Vinicius, Bellingham, Rodrigo. And then on the bench, they have Kepa, Fran, Militao, Nacho, Modric, Joselu, Lucas Vasquez, Ceballos, Garcia, Brahim Diaz, and Gula. So that is the Real Madrid team. So the usual suspects are starting. I did have Rodrigo in my team, but I had to take him out because I didn't have a goalkeeper. And the only way I could afford a goalkeeper is to take out one of the expensive players. And unfortunately, it had to be Rodrigo, unless I took out Odegaard. And I'd be crazy if I took out Odegaard. Haaland won't pass through Rudiger, says FIFA bot. Haaland is a machine, though. Even if he doesn't play well, it still like probably score. Man City's team: Ortega, Moreno in goal, a back four of Akanji, Stones, Diaz, and Gvardiol. Still a strong team. Rodrigo, Kovacic, and Bernardo Silva in midfield, Foden, Grealish, and Haaland up front. And then on the bench, they have Lewis, Bob, Nunes, Gomez, Alvarez, Ederson is back, Hassan, Doku. De Bruyne has been benched. Wow, I don't have De Bruyne in my team, but if you have De Bruyne has actually been benched. Like DM me on X. Foden captain, says Johnny. I don't think that's a bad captain. Foden has been an incredible foreman, to be honest. I'd really want to see how that game goes. Should I remove Kim for Akanji for a -4 or let it be, says Ja? I wouldn't really take a -4, especially for a defender. I would not. Right now, -4, no. Especially when you're given, everyone has 5 transfers. So to go for, and not too many people will take hits because most people have 5 transfers. So when you take a hit, you're one of the few people who will take a hit. And if it doesn't work out, you're already at a disadvantage. So I wouldn't take a hit. Just leave him on the bench. I know Kim is not playing, so just leave him on the bench. Just go with the 14 players. I don't think it's worth it playing a -4 because if you bring in Akanji and then Akanji gets a red card, for example, you're in big trouble. Differential captain Kai Havertz, if you have them, I think it's going to score, mainly because I wish Upamecano was playing as an Arsenal fan, but I think Dye is still a weakness in the middle, and they don't really cover the runs in behind well. So I think Havertz could take an advantage on at that. Should I remove that one? -4, no. Yep, I wouldn't do that. Best goalkeeper to pick besides Lonin. So Lonin is for today. Tomorrow for me, I've gone for Oblak. I think Oblak having a home game. I would go for him, and then probably I'd say Raya. Never take hits on UCL fantasy. I mean, yeah, personally, I've never taken a hit on UCL fantasy the 6-7 years I've been playing. But sometimes you might find yourself in a very difficult position, especially if you don't have a wildcard, you don't have a limitless, and like 6 of your players or 7, 8 of your players have been knocked out already, and you only have like 8, 9 players. Then in that stage, you can probably take a hit and bring in a player. And if that player is like a Mbappe or a Bellingham, you need to bring them in, then I would take a hit. But I've never taken a hit in Champions League fantasy, never. Johnny says my 11: Raya, Ramiro, Madsen, Cancelo, Saliba, White, Akanji, Rodri, Saka, Foden, Bellingham, Musiala, Haaland, and Kane. There's one striker they're missing, right? Yeah, there's one striker they're missing. So your midfield is Rodri, Saka, Foden, Bellingham, and Musiala. I think that's good. Defense, Akanji, White, Saliba, Cancelo, Madsen. I think that is good. Goalkeeper, Raya, Ramiro. So many Arsenal defenders. Arsenal have a very good defense, but there's a part of me behind my head that's still saying it's still Bayern Munich, it's still Sane and Kane. They can still score a couple of goals against you. So there's a little part of me that is a little bit scared in terms of that. But a Man City defender maybe, or Real Madrid defender maybe. But if you've already made your transfer, I don't think that team is bad at all. Forward line I'm okay with. Cancelo I'm okay with. His ownership is very high. Madsen I'm also okay with. Personally, I've gone for Hamels. Saliba, I also have him. Akanji. I don't have a Man City defender. I have two, but both of them are injured, and I need to transfer them out right now. And I don't know. I don't know if I can afford Akanji. I was waiting to see the Arsenal team to see whether Tomiyasu was playing because he's 4 million or something. But Tomiyasu is not playing, and I don't think I can afford the likes of Ben White and those guys. Let me see. Let me show you guys the Arsenal team and the Bayern Munich team as well. I've already read out the Real Madrid team and the Man City team. Please pick for me the defender, says FIFA bots. I definitely go for, if you can afford Gabriel. Gabriel is really good, but I can't afford Gabriel, so Saliba is the one I've gone for. I think Cancelo is a must-have. Cancelo's ownership is very high, so if you don't have him, you're already at a disadvantage already. I'd go for one Man City defender. I don't know who I'd let you choose between Diaz and Akanji. I think one Dortmund defender, so between Hamels and Madsen. The fifth one, it's tough because personally you can see I just have 3 defenders on screen. I'll think about the fifth one. Captaincy between Foden, Kane, Saka, Bellingham, and Haaland. I'm going to go for the home team. I'm going to say Bellingham first. From those 5 players, my order is Bellingham, Saka, Foden, Haaland, Kane. Those are my top 5 from that list, like in order. Saka and Haaland also take penalties, so there's that as well. 8.9 million, says Johnny. 8.9 million. You say you have 8.9 million in the bank. Okay, interesting. Can you afford Martinelli with that? How many Arsenal players do you have? You already have Saka. There's not too many strikers at that price, unless I think you can afford Morata. If you can afford Morata, you can go for Morata. Johnny, if you can't afford Morata, then you can go for Martinelli. Liad says, hi, thoughts on Sommer, Damian. Sommer is already out, obviously. Di Lorenzo is out as well. Chananoglu and Kane too. Okay, yeah, so I should have read it before answering that. Liad, sorry. Sommer, Damian, Di Lorenzo, Chananoglu and Kane to loan in. Dyer. Oh my goodness. Kubasi, what a talent. Yamal, what a talent. And Kylian Mbappe as well. Mbappe, absolutely great pick. I would have gone for Mbappe as well, but I have other problems to sort out, so I can't really take out Kane for Mbappe because I need to take out Ake and Walker for other defenders because both of them are not playing. So Mbappe I'm okay with. Yamal I'm okay with as well. The Kubasi one, because they are away, I feel like PSG are going to get at least 2 goals, but I think it's cheaper. So how much is Kubasi? I've not even thought about having him in my team. Barcelona defenders. Kubasi is 4 million. I see why you've gone for him. That's very cheap, so understandable. Loaning totally fine. Dyer one is the one that I'm like, Dyer. Any other options that you have apart from Dyer, Liad? Captaincy, I've read that one. Oblak or Kobel. Kobel, I think, is cheaper, but personally, I've gone for Oblak and still stick with Oblak because he's playing at home. He's not playing at home. Is he playing at home? He's not playing at home. He's playing away from home, right? Who's at home tomorrow? I think Dortmund at home. I think when I talked about Oblak yesterday, I said Dortmund are going to take a lot of shots. So if Atletico Madrid end up keeping a clean sheet, he's going to probably get a couple of save points. So I'm going to stick with with All Black in terms of that. Should I go for Molina and Rice in midfield or Musiala and Maatsen? Molina and Rice or Musiala and Maatsen? I still kind of prefer the second one. I don't know why. I have Rice, but I still prefer the second one because Maatsen is very attacking. And Musiala, if Bayern are going to score today, I think it's going to come from Musiala, to be honest. So I'll still go with the second option, Ahmad. PSG defender, maybe Hakimi is suspended. I don't really like any other defenders from PSG for this one, unless you're going for Donnarumma. But defensively, I don't think. I wouldn't go for a PSG defender. I think Barcelona will score, but Donnarumma, in terms of save points, I would go for Donnarumma. PSG defenders, no, I wouldn't consider them. I think Atletico Madrid, you can go for their defenders. You can go for Maatsen or Hummels from Dortmund. You can go for an Arsenal defender. You can go for Man City defender, Real Madrid defender. I think there's a lot of better options. I wouldn't really go for a PSG defender. Will Cancelo play 60 plus minutes? I would expect. So that's a tough game. See, looking at bringing in Griezmann for either Kane or Haaland says, I'll never forget your name, Red or Dead. That's the day. Griezmann for either. I wouldn't take out Haaland. Haaland is so it's a risk. If you feel like it's going to pay off, you can, but it's so highly owned. Right now, it's owned by. Let me check for you. Haaland is currently owned by around. I think it's more than 60%. So if you don't go with him, you're in a bit of trouble if he's going to lower down quickly enough. 60%, that's a lot of people. So if you take out Haaland and he scores, you're in a bit of problem. So Kane, that is fine. I don't mind Kane to Griezmann. But personally, I'm going to keep Kane in my team because I have other problems in my team. I've changed White for Kubasi. There you go, Johnny. That makes sense. Now, being a Real Madrid fan, Haaland will score, says Ray. Have 5.7 left for a defender. Will Marquinhos start? I think you will, but I've not really considered any PSG defenders. But if you really want a PSG defender, maybe Marquinhos is not the worst. Not the worst pick. He also can score a goal in the opposition box. Ryan says 4 million. Ryan says 4 million. Oh yeah, I think you're telling me about Kubasi. Thank you. I'm thinking of replacing Haaland with Mbappe. Don't think Haaland is gonna score, I guess you mean. Yeah, there's that, but he's so highly owned. What if he does and there's people who've captained him? You already lose rank. If right now we have like 5 match days to go, so if you're like in a position where you're like, let's say, not a very high rank and you want to like chase people and close the gap, then there's no problem with going like Mbappe as a differential. But if you're in a good rank in the middle, in the Everything Football League and in the worldwide rankings and stuff, and let's say in the top 5K and you don't want to lose rank, I would keep Haaland. Already got Gabriel and Saliba. Should I keep both of them or change with someone you suggest? I would keep both of them. Also, Saliba gets a lot of like ball recoveries and stuff. Atletico Madrid are at home. Are they at home? Why am I confusing? UCL fixtures. I know Arsenal at home, Real Madrid at home. I know PSG at home. Let me see. Atletico Madrid at home, I guess. Since you've said it, I'm going to take your word for it. Yeah, Atletico Madrid at home, so even better than All Black. You stick with All Black then. I would go with All Black. Carvajal may get an assist today. Very tough to predict assists for defenders in a game like that. That's interesting if he does actually get an assist. Haaland bottles in big games. Yeah, I think you're right, FIFA Boss. I think you're right. I have Julian, but he's benched. If I change him, I'll lose -4. I think you can go with 14 players. I wouldn't take a -4. I would not take a -4. I'd stay with 14 players. Do you think I should transfer out Haaland for Vinicius? No, I wouldn't transfer out Haaland. Although I think with Walker not being there, Vinicius can do something on that side. I'd still wouldn't. Haaland is so highly owned. I don't think it's advisable to take him out. He also takes penalties. There's that as well. Better to get 1 point than take -4. I agree. Did you celebrate trying the United jersey for the draw? I'm telling you, Ray, I felt so dirty On Sunday, I was celebrating Man United goals. I felt so dirty. I was busy screaming for their goals against Liverpool. I jumped up for the main goal and then I had to sit down like, oh my goodness, I just celebrated the Man United goal. But we needed their help. But even Kane takes pens is Foden a good differential. Yeah, Kane takes pens as well, though. But from all those teams, I think Arsenal has the best defense this season. So there's that too. Is Foden a good differential? Is he a differential, though? How many people own him? Foden's a very good pick for sure. But I don't know if it's a differential that I think many people go. 21%, I think, considering we don't have too many teams remaining, I think 21% is a bit of a differential. So you can go for him, but I'm sure many people will have him. In midfield, I've got Foden, Rodri, Bellingham, Saka. Pick the fifth one, no budget problem. FIFA Bots has no budget problem. I wish when I grow up, I want to be like FIFA Bots. No budget problem at all. Foden, so you have Man City covered, you have Real Madrid covered, you have Arsenal covered. Pick for me the fifth one. I'll go for maybe a Yamal from Barcelona. Yamal from Barcelona, I think that would be the first pick. Second pick, I'd go for Rice and Rodri. Rice. Rice would be the second one. So those two. But first one, you can go for Yamal. In terms of captaincy, says Bellingham, Saka and Haaland today, tomorrow Griezmann, and also Mbappe. Should I pick Leno and Haaland or Vinicius and Yamal? The one that has Haaland is the one that I'd go for. The option that has Haaland is the one that I'd go for because he's so highly owned. Thoughts on Cancelo and Rice instead of Dyer and Yamal? Yes, I'd go for that. Cancelo is very highly owned, and Rice takes Arsenal set pieces and all that. Let me sort out my defense quickly. I've not made all my transfers yet. So ideally, if I had like a wildcard or something, I would take out Kane for Mbappe. I wanted someone like Mbappe, but I already have enough problems. As you can see, I have 3 players who are not there, and I've already made 3 transfers. The 3 transfers were taking out Sommer, Di Lorenzo, and also who else did I take out? So I took out Sommer for Oblak, I took out Di Lorenzo for Hamels, and I took out Rodrigo for Morata. So the 3 transfers have been made. So now I have to take out Walker and Ake. And after taking out Walker and Ake, I only have 10.1 million remaining. So let me show you. I can't afford any other Arsenal defender, I'm pretty sure. 5.1 million. If I go for Kivio, I'll only have 4.3 million. Maybe I should go the direction some of you have gone with, like a Kubasi or something, but Ben White, 5.4 million. I'll have only 4.7 million remaining. Let's see, Man City. Keep sending your questions, I'll come back to them. So let me see, Man City and Real Madrid. Rudiger is starting. I'm thinking of going for a Real Madrid defender. I don't want to have too many Arsenal players or too many Man City players. I think four for me is kind of the maximum. I really want Arsenal to keep a clean sheet, but there's still part of me that says Kane and Sané are still there, and Coman is back on the bench. Gvardiol is 5.5 million. If I go for him, I'll only have 4.6 million. Militao is on the bench. Diaz is 5.4. Rudiger is 5.4. Mendy is 5.2, is also playing. Carvajal 5.2. Akanji is 4.9. So Akanji is 5.9. Which team would you pick a defender from? Real Madrid or Man City? If I take out Walker and Ake, who are both injured, I don't have any other defenders from Man City. So it's either I go for the 5 options I have to bring on there. Akanji is one of them. Potentially Stones. Maybe Rudiger or Mendy. And then maybe Ben White or someone like that. I'm not going to go for a Bayern Munich defender, no. I think 5 Arsenal players is a bit too much. So tough. Ahmad says Atletico. Very expensive, though. I know Molina is an option, but he's like 6 million or something. So if I go for 6 million, I mean, I can go for Molina and Kubasi, I think. Let me see. Atletico Madrid. Let me take out Arsenal, Man City, and Real Madrid. The thing is, though, Ahmad, I already have Oblak, so I think Arsenal will pass, says Johnny. I hope so. I really believe in Arsenal, says Ahmad. if I was building a team today, I'd have 3 Arsenal players. I only have 4 of them because I already had 4 of them against FC Porto, and then I had like 7 players who were out, so I had to transfer out 5 of them, and that means I have to stay with Kane, I have to stay with Rice, I have to stay with all of those Arsenal players and Kane as well, because I had to take out Sommer, I had to take out Di Lorenzo, and I had to take out Rodrigo to afford a different goalkeeper. So there is that. Odegaard and Saka definitely going to be in my team. So tough. Ezra says, have Ederson and Sommer change one to Oblak or both, and if one, I can upgrade Haaland to Mbappe. I wouldn't take out Haaland, Ezra. Have Ederson and Sommer change one to Oblak. Ederson is obviously not playing. Sommer is obviously not playing. So that is the kind of position I was in as well, because I had Sommer and Sommer was very cheap and Oblak is very expensive. To take out, to bring in Oblak, I had to take out Sommer, and then it meant I had to take out Rodrigo for a cheaper striker, so I went with Morata. As if this helps, I'll definitely keep Haaland in the team and then find, let me know any other options you have to take out Ederson for. Best Rodri or Rice, in terms of the fantasy game, I think both of them are really good. Rice takes the set pieces, and Rodri is really good, man. Rodri scores and assists almost every single game as well. These 2 guys for defensive midfielders, they're incredible because they usually like get assists and score every single game, and that's not really their job. I'd still say Rodri though. Who's the best goalkeeper, says Johnny? I'd say Lonin, because you can also make a lot of says considering they're playing Man City. Lonin, Raya, and Oblak. Just says, don't worry, Arsenal will bottle though. Hopefully not. Let's see. Let's both defeat our respective teams and meet in the semi-final. That would be great. That would be scenes, man. We've never played Real Madrid like since 2006. So I've never really seen Arsenal playing Real Madrid. Bowen says, my team, Vinicius, Haaland, Mbappe. That looks good. Bellingham, KDB is on the bench. Foden, Saka, Zaire, Molina, Saliba, Cancelo, Hamels, Lunin. That's a really strong team. Transfer out for who? So you see, De Bruyne is playing today. So in your situation, I'd still take out Di Lorenzo and keep De Bruyne in the starting 11, because there's still a chance he can come off the bench and do something. If he comes off the bench and gets only 1 point, you can take him out for the players who are coming off your bench tomorrow. So that is how it's supposed to be. If you take out Di Lorenzo, but also minus 1.9 million, is that what you mean? Do you mean you have less than... Let me know, Baron, what you mean. You have how much money do you have after you take out Di Lorenzo? Let me know. After you take out Di Lorenzo, how much money you have. As a Chelsea fan, I say don't get any more Arsenal players. Yeah, I feel like I shouldn't get any more Arsenal players, to be fair. What do you think about the Barca game? I think Barcelona, PSG are going to be in the first leg and Barcelona are going to be in the second leg. I've said PSG 2-1 for the first leg, Barcelona 2-1 for the second leg. So all the way to extra time. Penalties, that's a coin toss. Anyone can win. Ederson not playing, I think, is great advantage for Vinicius. And also Walker not playing as well. I really need a midfielder for 6.9 million, but I'm not sure who to get. Either Rodri or Rice, one of them. I'd go for Rodri or Rice or Emre. If you want Emre as well, is an option. Right now, since the teams that are remaining have so many expensive players, it's very tough to get cheaper players. Doku might have been a big trouble for Real Madrid. He's a very good player, tricky and all that, but the end product is the problem. It reminds me of Saint Maximin from Newcastle and also Traore from Wolves. These days he plays for Fulham. Very good. Even Iwobi at Fulham, he looks very good, skillful, passes 5-6 players, but the end product is not there. Palmer, all the Arsenal players says Hamad. I mean, he gave us Havertz is doing great. Maybe we'll make a bid for Palmer. 40 million in the transfer window. At the end of this one, 40 million for Palmer. Do you want to join a bigger team called Palmer? Coley Palmer? Hamad? It's time to see this at Arsenal, right? It's time to see this at Arsenal. Imagine Saka and Palmer. He would be a good backup for Saka, to be fair. He'd be a very good backup for Saka. As a Barca fan, I hope we pass the round. There's a very big chance. Right now, I cannot predict which team is going to go through. I think the only one you can say maybe Atletico Madrid, but even that, don't be surprised if Dortmund go through. So let me choose my defenders now. What Molina is 6. If I go for Molina 6.1, I can go for Kubasi, but that means I have 2 Atletico Madrid defenders and 2 Barcelona defenders, which I'm not happy with at all. So let me go with let me see Real Madrid. I don't have any Real Madrid defensive cover. And I only have 1 Real Madrid player. I think this is a bit disrespectful to Real Madrid and Ray and all those guys. 1 Real Madrid player is not enough. Mendy will get subbed off though? Will he play more than 60 minutes? Ray, let me know. Will Mendy play more than 60 minutes, or are you going to take him off? Arsenal needs to get a player called Gravy to play alongside. And imagine that. Gravy and Rice. That would be sins. That would be sins. I'm thinking Mendy, but is he going to get subbed off? That's the problem. I can't afford. I don't think I can afford Carvajal. Can I afford Carvajal? Also, another thing you need to watch out for is the yellow cards. If the player picked up a yellow card in the last round, they could get suspended if they pick up another yellow card. Let me see. Carvajal. Did he get a yellow card in the last game? No, he didn't. 5 balls recovered, 1 point for that last game. 30 minutes, Johnny. I'm not sure. It's Julian Alvarez. He might come on. I'd say he comes on maybe the 70th minute or something, if you mean Julian Alvarez. I wouldn't trust any of the Madrid defenders to play for long. Carvajal, though. Carvajal is like the captain, right? We only need 60 minutes. That could be an advantage as well. I'm going to go for Carvajal. I've chosen your defender, Ray. Hopefully, he does bring something to my team. Let me see. Can I afford any other defender? 4.9 million. I can only afford Kubasic, right? I'm not sure about having both Cancel and Kubasi away at PSG. I think Mbappe will definitely score in that game. There's not too many defenders to choose. Not to Dortmund, maybe. Nah, away at Atletico Madrid. That's too crazy. Man City, maybe. Diaz is 5.4. Stones is 5.3. Akanji is 4.9. Yeah, I've decided that is who I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for that match. Real Madrid against Man City. I've gone for Akanji and I've gone for Carvajal. Those are my 2 transfers. Just in case anyone keeps a clean sheet, those are the transfers I've gone for. I didn't want to have too many Arsenal players. I'm going to take Hamad's instructions in terms of that and his advice. I'm not going to go for too many Arsenal players. So my 2 transfers have been made. Look at all these players starting. That is such a good side. You know, when you usually have like 2 or 3 players starting and we're not sure who are the others. Look at that. All of them are starting. That is beautiful. But who am I going to captain? I'm not going to captain Haaland, that's for sure. This is so tough. Bellingham. Who am I going to captain? So tomorrow I have Morata, Cancelo, and Hamels. But I only have 1 goalkeeper, so I'm playing with 1 goalkeeper. Oh, what the hell? Starboy Sakare says Jesus was good before injury. He got injured in the World Cup. Such a shame. And since then, he's not really been there. He still has the skill and all that. If you look at his goals this season in the Champions League, but he can't really play 3 games in a row. Gabriel Jesus isn't playing really well. You're right. That's why he's not starting. That's why Havertz is starting in front of him. And if you're to tell Arsenal fans 5 months ago, start Havertz ahead of Jesus, people will be like, what the hell, Havertz? But now many people are choosing Havertz ahead of Jesus, which says something. Will Famil Lopez play? He's on the bench. So I wouldn't really go for any bench. He might come on, though. So if you have those players and you don't have any more transfers, just put them in the starting 11. If you don't have enough players in the starting 11, put them just in case they come on and do something. But if they come on and get 1 point, if they don't play, just bring on whoever is on the bench tomorrow for the tomorrow's game. Should I go for Madsen or Alisson? I'd go for Madsen. Kane or Haaland for Griezmann. I'd take out Kane for Griezmann. For Foden, Rodri. Personally, I'm keeping Kane, though. But for your team, if you want Griezmann, I'd take out Kane. Haaland is too highly owned. Kane is playing against the best defense. So, yeah. Foden, Rodri, Leno, or Rodri, Leno, Gundogan. Foden. The one that has Foden, Marcus. I'd go for Foden, Rodri, and Leno. Rodri captain. Ooh, Johnny says Rodri captain. Wow, that's interesting. I wouldn't really captain Rodri or Rice, although I know they can get a lot of recovery points and a goal or an assist. Oh, what the hell? I'm going to go for, let's see, Odegaard has picked up. I like going for players who don't get subbed off, and Odegaard is not going to be subbed off. I don't think Bellingham is going to be subbed off. I don't think Kane is going to be subbed off. Wow, I've gone for 4 Arsenal players, and then I also captain an Arsenal player. By the way, if you're watching and wondering why the hell I have 4 Arsenal players, I would have 3. I only have 4 because I had them from the last round, and I've had a lot of problems to sort out in the team. I'm not underestimating Bayern Munich. I know Bayern Munich could turn up in the Champions League. Best 7.5 million midfielder, no Rodri, no Kimmich. So Ezra doesn't want Rodri and he doesn't want Kimmich. Maybe Gundogan. Bernardo Silva is an option as well, as Ray says. Bernardo Silva is a good option, actually. That I think is a very different option. Let me see. I think not many people have Bernardo Silva. Sancho, I think, is also 7 million if you want a differential like a Sancho. Let me see. Bernardo Silva. So Bernardo Silva 8.3, so you can't really afford him. But it'd be a good option for anyone who can afford Bernardo Silva at 8.3 million. So Sancho is an option. Ezra, I'd say Sancho, 7 million. Emre as well from PSG. Who's higher than 7.5 million? Sancho is 7 million though, Ezra. Sancho is 7 million. If you prefer a very, very like a big differential, that could be an option. From these teams like Man City and Arsenal, you're not really going to get a lot of players who are 7.5 million, even Real Madrid, unless you go for like a defensive midfielder. Trossard would have been an option, but it doesn't start. Listen, Havertz is a forward though. I hate it when they do that. Ezra is looking for midfield, and Havertz is a striker in the game. I think Declan Rice is a good option at 6 million because he's playing as a number 8. He's not playing as a number 6 for us. He goes forward a lot. He takes shots. He takes corners and free kicks. So 6 million is not bad. But Jack Grealish, how much is Jack Grealish? The thing with Jack Grealish, I think is going to be subbed off for sure. I've had him twice this season and he's been subbed off both times, and I don't like that. Midfielders. Grealish, 7.8 million, so you still can't afford him though, 7.5. So Ezra, I'd say Sancho and Declan Rice, whoever you prefer from that. How about 100 million Aston Villa player? I think it's going to be subbed off. Transferred in Upamecano by mistake. Oh my goodness, FIFA, but that's a bad error to make, huh? Upamecano is not playing, right? Even if he was playing, just make sure you don't go for him. He's a calamity. That's why they benched him today. Jack Grealish is playing good recently. Yeah, he is, Johnny. I think he's one of the players who actually helped them win the treble. For sure, he contributed and people underestimated him. But he gets injured a lot this season, and he's been subbed off both times I've had him this season with an injury. So I'm not a fan of that. Let me go back to my team and see who I'm going to captain. Let me see who I'm going to captain. Let's see. Jack Grealish is really good at defending. So recovery points. Yeah, recovery points are very important in this game as well. Recovery points are very important. Upamecano has the red card of UCL. Yeah, he gave away a penalty or something against Lazio, right? Saka, of course, or else you're not an Arsenal fan. Can't get expensive defenders because of Mbappe. That's the thing, Rehan. So Kubasi is an option, I guess. And also, there's not too many others, man. All those others are so expensive. Maybe a Kanji 4.9 million. Why the hell is it loading so slowly? Full pressure. So if Arsenal don't score, I mean, both ways, huh? These guys don't want me to put in my captain. Hey, put my captain before it hangs again. Yeah, of course I'm going to go for Bukayo Saka. Ray knows. Bayern Munich have been conceding a lot of goals. 3 goals to Bochum, 2 goals to Heidenheim, 2 goals to Dortmund. I'm going to captain Saka. So that is my team. That is my team complete. So what I'm going to do, if let's say Arsenal loses 2-0 today, and it's looking very unlikely they'll go through, then the second leg you have 3 transfers to make. I can take out like 2 Arsenal players there and start building up for the semi-finals. It's fun to watch, match analysis after every Arsenal game. I appreciate it. It takes a lot of time. It's fun though. It's very fun. Like talking about this is not a job. Fantasy football. Talking about Arsenal, that's not really a job. That's not work. It's just fun. 0 of Bayern players for me, says Ezra. I'm still respecting Bayern. I'm hoping we beat them, but I still respect them. And I've seen Coman is back, and the midfield is what is giving me hope. I've had a lot of Bayern Munich fans saying, "Oh my goodness, Goretzka and Lima in midfield. This is not great." So I'm hoping that is where Declan Rice and those guys will dominate, hopefully. And the thing with Saka as well, he defends so much. He comes back and makes tackles so he can get to recovery. But I don't know how it's done in the Champions League, but in the league gets a lot of recovery points. Like ball recoveries, not recovery points. In the Champions League, maybe he's been staying forward a lot, but I'm going to stick with him because on the wings, he's going to come back and defend a lot. How was it meeting Odegaard last year? Do you still dream about it? I don't still dream about it, but he was great. He was a surprise. I didn't know I was going to meet him. They had arranged for me to meet him. If I knew I was going to meet him, I would have written down better questions to ask him. That time they're telling me, okay, ask Odegaard whichever question you want to ask. And I was like, oh my goodness, what the hell am I going to ask, man? But yeah, it was big. And since then, it's just become even a greater player for us. Like, I wish I could meet him again today. The Premier League arranged that for me. Like they just told me come and do the preview for Arsenal and Man City. I was like, okay. And then they told me, hey, you want to talk to Odegaard? I was like, what the hell? Should I get a -4 and get instead of Kim? Should I get no -4s? I'm just go with 14 players. I'm going with 14 players. As you can see, I only have 1 goalkeeper because Heats doesn't really make sense right now. How are you, Rishabh? Nice seeing you. He would say Arsenal, Ray. He would say, but thank you for Odegaard, man. Like, what a signing for 35 million. Thank you very much, Real Madrid. Midfielder under 5.9 million. You're not going to get too many midfielders at that price, Rayhan. Maybe Emery. How much is Emery right now? I don't think he's gone. I'm sure he's gone up, but no, you're not going to get too many midfielders at that price because right now the teams that are remaining are the bigger teams. Emery. How much is Emery right now? 5.6 is literally the only one. There's no other midfielder you can get for that price, Ryan. Only Emery, no one else. We kind of want Odegaard back. 100 million plus Vinicius. 100 million plus Vinicius, and then we'll talk, Ray. Why don't you do PL Fantasy? Because I want to introduce it next season. It's because it takes so much time. I would be happy to do like Premier League Fantasy like this, and like fantasy football doing FPL. I was doing FPL, but it takes so much time, and the competition for FPL is so high, like crazy. But I want to introduce it next season. I'm going to plan my content better during the off season and do it next season. Vinicius or Rodrigo? I'd go for Vinicius. Will Sula play? I think he will, but they're playing away from home, so I'd still choose the likes of Maatsen. I don't recommend a Bayern defender. I don't as well, Johnny. Plus Vinicius, how about Camavinga? Nope. I mean, if you throw in Camavinga on the deal as well, so Vinicius and Camavinga plus 100 million, then yes. No, Odegaard is not for sale. Like, everything goes through Odegaard for us. Like, if Odegaard is not there, I wouldn't really trust the likes of Vieira and Smith Rowe right now, especially in the Champions League. I wouldn't really trust them. So my team is ready. Let me know any final questions you have. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Team. If any players get less than 1 point, if Saka gets 9+ points, I'm not going to change the captain. Even 8, even if he gets 8 points, I'm not going to change him. I don't really expect too many people to get 12 points plus and all that. Is Maguire in your team? Absolutely not. Never. for the first time, I've not gone for a Man United player this season. If you're a Man United fan, sorry, I've not gone for a Man United fan player once this season. Not even one. That's the only team I've not picked up a player from. And you can see why, right? You can see why. What is your current world ranking UCL fantasy, says Bishop? Let me just check right now. I'm not even sure. There's a time I got to 990, not 900 even. I got to 200 after match day 7. I got to 200 and then I think my captain did not deliver, and then I just dropped so far back again. So right now, 8,700. So that's the rank, and I got to 200, and I was trying to stay in the top 1,000, but it's so difficult, especially if your captain doesn't score. After this is where I think I got to. Was it here or some? I think after this 105 points in match day 5, I was like 170, and then I went to 200 in match day 6, and then after my captain did not deliver in match day 7, I captained Saka. I think I captained Haaland, did not score. I captained Saka, did not score. I also captained Saka in that match day. Kane, sorry, did not score. And then I think I balanced it out in match day 8 and got 72 points. But yeah, still in the top 10K. I'm still hoping I can find a way to at least top 2,000 and stuff. It's not easy because once your player does not deliver, that's it. Your captain, if your captain doesn't score, you can drop like 5,000 places. Tell me one player from the big 6 you want at Arsenal. So I wouldn't go for Man United players. Sorry, Man United fans. I would not go for a Tottenham player. I'd go for Foden. If I was to choose a player, I'd go for Foden. Foden would be the choice. So that's my team. That's the final team. Obviously, Arsenal is about to start. If you're an Arsenal fan, you just enjoy content, or you want to see me crying after we lose today, you can subscribe to Everything Arsenal. I'll be live after the game. There, Everything Arsenal. Hopefully, we don't lose today, though, because but I'm not listening to you people. People are saying Bayern Munich are terrible. Arsenal should win. Nah, I'm not going to listen. But Bayern Munich is still Bayern Munich, and they have Coman back, Sané is back, Neuer is back. So it's not a must to beat Bayern Munich. But if we win today, I'd be absolutely buzzing because I know we can go there and keep a clean sheet. I prefer Trossard than Martinelli. He scored more goals. This season, yeah, he scored more goals this season. Martinelli hasn't really returned a lot in terms of scoring, but Martinelli has missed a lot of games. He's been injured like 3 separate times at the beginning of the season. Also, I think the Everton game around October, he got injured, and then recently he's been out for like 6-7 weeks. Son would be a great pick from Spurs. Yeah, I would take Son. If I was to pick a player from each team, I'd say from Man United, Son from Spurs, Palmer from Chelsea, Foden from Man City, and I'd actually go for McAllister from Liverpool. My team: Mbappe, Haaland, Vinicius, Saka, Foden, Rodri, Bellingham, Zaire, Saliba, Molina. I have minus 2.9. What should I transfer out and in? How many transfers remaining, Baron? How many transfers remaining? How many transfers do you? Someone from Aston Villa, 100%. I love Watkins. Watkins would be my option, but I also do rate Douglas Luiz. And then after that, I love McGinn as well, but Watkins would be my option because we don't really have a striker. So I'd go for Watkins. Baron has 1 transfer left. I don't really like a minus for your team, Baron. I don't like minus. Mbappe, Haaland, Vinicius, that is fine. Saka, Foden, Rodri, Bellingham, that is fine. Saliba, Molina, Cancelo, Hamel, Zakai. I have minus 2.9 million. What should I transfer out and in? I don't see anyone you can really transfer out there, man. I think everyone is okay in your team, to be fair. I'm Baron. I wouldn't really transfer anyone out. I think that team looks good. I wouldn't really take anyone out, to be honest. But I have minus 2.9, so you have to take someone out. That's what you mean. Okay. But who, man? Who? That's very hard. Minus 2.9. You know, you might have to. The only person there you can take out is Vinicius or Haaland or Mbappe, those three. And I'm not a fan of you taking. The only person you can take there is Vinicius, honestly, Baron. If you take out Vinicius, how much money do you have remaining? That's the only one you can really take out from that. And I'm not a fan of you taking him out. And Mbappe is the most expensive. I would take out Mbappe for Morata or Mbappe for Havertz. That is what I'd do, Baron. That's the only option I would go for there. Saka, you're crazy, Baron. You're crazy. Saka will definitely score. Take my word for it. He'll definitely score. We are not going to finish that game without a goal. I don't like taking out the players who are going to take penalties and everything goes around them. Foden and Saka, literally everything goes around them. 8.1 left. After taking out Mbappe or Vinicius, the only options are Morata or Havertz for that prize. McGinn I would take. If Mitoma weren't injured, I like Mitoma. It's unfortunate to have him injured. They are bad. Imagine from 2-0, they lost 3-2. I still don't. That Bayern Munich team did not have Sané and Neuer and those guys. And Coman is now back, and they have more Champions League heritage than us. That is true. We've never won the Champions League before, so that is why people would prefer Real Madrid and Bayern and all those guys to us. But listen, if we beat Bayern Munich and face Real Madrid, we will be there. We will be there, Ray. We will be there. We will be there. As Pep Guardiola would say, we will be there. So, guys, I've got to go watch the Arsenal game. Match reaction for the Arsenal game will be on Everything Arsenal if you subscribe there. I appreciate you guys watching. The team is ready, as always, here. If you have any questions ahead of tomorrow, you can comment on this specific video. I'll answer them. I appreciate you guys watching. Hit the like button if I answered your question. Let me take the last few. Red or Dead says Lunin, Saliba, Kanji, Saka, Foden, Bellingham, Rodri, Kane, Griezmann, Mbappe, or Black, Kubasi, Madsen, Emery. That looks good. I really don't have any problem with that. Apart from, I'm really scared that you don't have Haaland, Red or Dead. I know it doesn't score every day these days, but if he scores, in a bit of problem. But the rest of the team looks good. I prefer Man City Arsenal game in the semi-finals. If you want entertainment, Johnny, that is not the game for you. I can't lie to you. That is going to bore you to death. I know how we are going to play, especially if we go to. That could be 0-0 and 0-0 in both legs, because I know how we are going to approach the game. We are going to be like, just put Foden and Haaland out of the game. It's going to be like a 1-0 or something for either team. It's going to be very feisty. That would help Liverpool win the league if Man City and Arsenal face each other. Won't be there. It will be 3M for me. I understand, Ray. Best captain choice today: Bellingham, Saka, Haaland. Who should I captain today? Bellingham or Saka? But I'll watch the highlights. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Time to go watch Arsenal. Let me hope that we'll win. Pray for Arsenal, guys. Come on. Even if you hate us, pray for us. Come on. Thank you for watching. Catch up with you guys on the next one.